think we're live. I don't. It's not showing up.
Yeah, we're live.
We are? Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in on this Saturday afternoon. We've got ISRL Tier 2 round, I think 13 here at the Bahrain International Circuit. My name is ISRL Carter. I'm joined with ISRL Knight for the time being here in the commentary booth. A lot of stuff to talk about here as we start qualifying, getting down to the thick of it here in the championship. Um, so glad to have you, Nick. What are the standings looking like if you could pull it up?
They're very, very tight. Chris Can at 144 points. He's in the lead. ISL Vito, second place at 140, so 4 points back. Sophion at 135, 9 points back from the lead. And it would have been a four-horse race. Unfortunately, Cruz got taken out by Coxey last week, but he's at 123, 21 points back. So still in it if you can get a win, and the other guys kind of stumble towards the back here today. But for now, it's very much between the top three. Not many race weekends to go. I think there's only... is this the... let me pull up. I think this is our before... Yeah, this is the before last race. So there's only one more weekend to go after this. Round 14 here.
This is 14.
And yeah, so unless Cruz goes and gets a big victory today, it's fair to say he's kind of out of the hunt here. But three drivers within 9 points.
Yeah, and it's good that we have such close standings, especially only with two races left. The excitement and the drama and the pressure for all these drivers who are competing for that championship is building every single race, every single lap. Even Vito, one of the guys you were mentioning, is the first to go out to start a flyer. We've also got Chris Can and Alex. We're gonna stick with Vito for now. Give us a little bit of the rundown. It's an interesting circuit. You've got the long front straightaway, you've got the shortened back straightaway, and then you've got two more straightaways, providing some good overtaking. But give us a little bit more in-depth detail of this track layout.
Well, it's in the desert, but it's raced at night. So the temperatures that the pit crew and the drivers are going to be dealing with aren't quite the same as you would get on other tracks. You don't have it is in the desert, it is fairly warm, but you don't have the sun kind of beaming down on the track surface. So that plays a big role in how you handle your pit strategies. And it's known for being in a very, very abrasive track surface here in Bahrain. The Tier 3 drivers who raced here last week were going through sets and sets of tires. Didn't see the softs last quite longer than probably 10 laps or so. And because of all these high speed turns that you get, and like turn 12, and this abrasive track surface means the tires don't last too long. And so we're going to see a lot of going up and down in the standings through pit strategy today, I think.
Yeah, and as you were mentioning, that Vito is as I said, the first set of lap. He's on provisional pole now. Chris Can, about 10th and 8 hundredths behind him, both on medium tires. Alex tried the hard tires out, didn't really quite work for him. Scar Logan, after the crazy race last week, he's gonna jump to the top of the standings for now. We got a lot of times coming in. Azen Toro Rosso goes fourth. Young Lights, who is a reserve driver, he's going to be in the Racing Point. He's in third. And I'm trying.
Yeah, we have a couple of reserve drivers here who are going to be making an appearance on this grid next season. Young Lights and I assume it's Gigix 5, both testing out here today. First time racing with us, so we're going to have to see what they can deliver. But if they can perform, they should have a spot on the Tier 2 grid next season.
Look at that, we got a Red Bull off. Which one was that? Looked
that's
like
Alex
it was
Joe
Alex. Yeah, we see it a lot of times during these qualifying sessions. Get these little mistakes, and wow, that was an Alfa Romeo. I think that was Lorenzo nearly just ran straight into the Red Bull driver. Hopefully he wasn't on a hot lap. Luckily for him, he's on an out lap, but that was extremely close for the Alpha driver. He's actually starting his hot lap. We're going to stick it here with him. Pretty up and down year, I'd say, for Lorenzo. He gets a lot of good results, and then pair that with a lot of bad results, or results that we wouldn't really expect from him. Same thing with the other Ferrari-powered driver of Chilmo. Again, he has his ups and downs. Looking to give us a good performance today. We're gonna jump back with Lorenzo for the rest of this lap.
Yeah, and Lorenzo and Mo, both guys that started the season strong. Lorenzo, I want to say he had a podium near the start there,
Yeah.
maybe even more than one. And it's just kind of gone from bad to worse there as we've gone through the season. Same with Mo. They've just kind of been getting unlucky, wrong place, wrong time on, restarts or at the start of the race. And oftentimes, through no fault of their own, they get sent to the back of the field. And they're both clean drivers. I don't think we've actually ever issued a penalty to either of them this year. And but bad luck and unfortunate incidents happening ahead, and you just get piled up, you get caught on in that, and there's not much that they can do. But they're definitely going to be looking to bounce back next season. At this point, it's kind of just a ride to get some confidence back. Make sure you still got a good handle on the car, and just try to finish the season off on a good note.
Yeah, that's a good point right now. He's coming to the line on the mediums, 129.8, and we're going to have Chilmo directly after him. Unfortunately, he's going to have to go for a second run. Got another Alpha, that's Cruz, coming across the line looking... he's actually going to dive into the pits. And it looks like... okay... Jijix has already set his lap. I think he might be coming into the pit. No, he just set a purple middle sector. He's going for another hot lap.
Yeah, his first lap, his first two laps, I think, were just to try to get a bit of a feel for the car. He's going, several seconds slower than everyone else. I think he said a 141 and then a 138. So, he's not, he wasn't out there to prove a point, but he is now. Look at that.
Yeah, good lap for him. Only a tenth off from Scarlo. Track's pretty empty right now. It looks like there's only 4 cars out on track. Reduced lobby today, only 14 drivers. Unfortunate there. Still lucky to have the championship contenders at least with us.
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
In the past couple weeks, we've been kind of filling the grid in with drivers from other tiers here. But as we're getting down to the end of the season, championships getting super close. 3 guys covered by 9 points. We don't want to get these crazy fast guys from other tiers or anyone to come and kind of play a role in that and decide the outcome that otherwise would be super dramatic and going down to the last race and whatnot. So reduced grid today, but it's just so that we can let our championship contenders shine and not have Jer, who's several seconds ahead of them on track. So yeah, it's a smaller grid. It's by choice. It's just so that we can kind of get a good look at everyone going into season 2.
Yeah, and you mentioned that season 2 is just around the corner. I don't know, but anybody else, but I am super excited. Lots of new designs, new looks, new drivers. Can't wait. But yeah,
Starts May 16th for Tier 4, but the real season starts May 17th. It's a short season because the F1 2020 release date came out, and turns out it's in July, so we had to kind of just cut it short so that we could launch the season on there. But 7-race calendar, we're starting in Australia, I think. May 17th, Tier 1s to Tier 3, all racing on that day.
absolutely cannot wait. The deck goes 5th fastest, about 5/10 off of Scarlo. Lorenzo's going to give it another go. And interesting thing here, a lot of people not wanting to start on those soft tires.
Yeah, and honestly, after seeing the race here last week with Tier 3, it's not a shock at all. The soft tires just fall off a cliff after just a couple of laps here, and if you start the race on those tires, you've already taken such a big chunk out of the life of that tire that you're gonna have to pit probably lap 4, 5, 6 maybe, if you're unlucky with safety cars and whatnot. And so the medium tire is definitely the tire of choice to start the race here today, and probably even a medium hard. I would be surprised if we saw soft during the race unless it's because of a safety car.
Yeah, and as you said, that Young Lights out of nowhere sets the fastest lap of the race. Reserve driver in the Racing Point goes fastest. Let's see, you've got anybody else? Looks like the deck maybe on another. No, he's slowing down a little bit. Let's see, maybe Catastrophic. Yeah, he is. He's setting his first lap time of the session. Only 6.5 minutes remaining. Two drivers yet to qualify. It's Catastrophic, who we're on board with now, and ISRL Tommy, who is still currently in the pit lane. Yeah, 6 minutes left. Young Light, Scarlo, and Gigix are your top three. Two Ferrari-powered cars in fourth and fifth and sixth. Chris Can, Lorenzo Sofian, and Chilmo are the top 10. Here comes Catastrophic. He goes up to fifth. Good lap for him, 129 flat. About 9/10 off of Young Lights. And I think this is about the time where you might start to see drivers head out of the pits for their final lap time.
Yeah, and there's 5 minutes left. You're looking at 3 minutes if you count your out lap and your hot lap here around this track. So you want to be heading out before the 3 minute mark if you want to get one lap in. Looking at guys that are on their out laps right now, they might get their second lap in if they're really quick about getting back to the pits. But definitely we're going to be seeing some of these guys as fastest but also last lap times of the session here.
Yep, on board with Alex. It shows on the scoring sheet that he's on the hard tires. The car shows the medium tires. What does it say for you?
It's both mediums for me.
Really interesting.
I
Well,
think so, yeah.
must be on the mediums. Yeah, but it will not matter. His lap is done for now. I think Chris Can is just now starting his lap, looking on the mini map to see if anybody will finish before him. Looks like Catastrophic. He's going to give it another go. I think he's still on medium tires. I think these are fresh tires. It says 0 laps completed for my standings for the tires fitted. So we're going to keep it here for now. He may just duck into the pits because I'm pretty sure he just went 5th, and he will. So let's see here.
Scar Logan on a lap right now. He was 10th down at the last split. But I think I see the ERS charging light come on, so I think he probably bailed out of that lap. Not quite up to the pace that he needs to beat his own lap, so I think he's just going to slow down and try again.
Vito crossing the line. Here comes Cruz coming across the line. I think he just had a 129 flat. That's worse than his first time.
Yeah, a little bit down there, but those are used tires. He already did. He already tried a lap on those ones
interesting.
before.
My chart says that was 0 lap medium tires. But anyway, we've got Scar Logan rounds the final corner. He's setting for sure a second lap. This one's not going to be as good. Nearly 3 seconds off. Chris Can coming right behind him. He sets a purple final sector. Goes nearly 4/10 faster than his best time. He stays in, or he jumps up to 5th. Puts Catastrophic down to 6th. I think we've got Chilmo. He's going to... I think this may be another lap for him. We're going to see what the time's going to be. It looks like a good lap for him. It was a 129 flat. Improves, but does not advance his position.
Scar Logan here, he's basically even with his current lap time. So despite the extra lap on those tires, looks like he's matching up to his former pace pretty well.
Azen coming around to the start, finish straight. He's going to start his flying lap. Again, the only driver yet to qualify is Tommy. Let's see, we've got Vito. I think he may be starting one. No, he just finished one. Look, 129.3, about a tenth off from his best. Got an Alfa Romeo. That's Cruz.
Ooh,
He
Scar
just
Logan's up on his
finished.
time here. This is a good lap for him.
Yeah, we're gonna quickly jump to Scar Logan. Only got one more turn to go. He's gonna run into some traffic. Hopefully, looks like Cruz right ahead of him. Luckily, Cruz gets out of the way. As now Scar Logan in the Renault gets the DRS flap open. What's this time gonna be? He improves by 3/10, but it's still half the distance between him and Young Lights. And
Nope.
as he rams into the braking meters, so that's
Bit
gonna.
frustrated with himself maybe there.
Yeah, he said, I'm gonna park it for now. I didn't have enough time to, or enough, didn't want to waste the tires too much.
Yeah,
So he's
exactly.
done. Chilmo goes into the pits. Looking at, I think that may be Young Lights. Oh, I can't get over to him. We're going to jump to Azen, that's right. This is his most likely final attempt. He's on the soft tires, it looks like, and he will abandon it. Young Lights.
He was up on his time there too. He decided to dive into the pits.
Yeah, and I guess didn't want
Uh,
to start on the softs.
yeah, probably. Like I said earlier, these soft tires here in Bahrain, they go off the cliff so quick, and can really catch you off guard. So a lot of these guys, even I saw Young Lights go out on the softs earlier, but not set a lap time. All opting to start on the medium tires here.
Yeah, and finally, the last possible chance to get a lap in. Tommy's going to start his first laps of qualifying with 40 seconds left. So here he goes. It's between him and Young Lights at this time. Young Lights is about 70 hundredths off of or 70 thousandths off of his best time through sector 1. DRS is going to open here for the shortened back straight. So yeah, it's just down to 2 Mercedes-powered cars right now. What would the chances you give Tommy? It looks like Tommy may be on the soft tire.
No, he's on the mediums.
He is on the mediums.
Yeah, setting a 28.6, I think, for sector 1.
Yep, fastest of anyone so far. We're gonna jump back over to the racing point. Try not to go too wide there. Get a good turn and a good hit the apex. DRS wide open to the line. Will he improve? This looks like a really good lap. Actually, no. Nearly 4/10 off of his best. So now all eyes are focused on the Mercedes.
Four-tenths off of his best is still good enough for P2 if Young Lights wasn't on pole. So it's still a good lap from that racing point.
Without a doubt. And here we go. To finish qualifying now, ISRL Tommy. Can he do it? And it does not look like he will be able to, but where will he end up? It looked like, I think, 6th or 7th for Tommy.
It's
it is actually ninth
for Tommy.
It is
ninth for Tommy, yeah.
And so there you go. The reserve driver, Young Lights, will start on pole with Scar Logan behind him. The other reserve of Jijix 5 and the McLaren will start third. Cruz, Chris Can will be, Jijix and Cruz will be row 2. Chris Can, catastrophic. Good qualifying from the Haas driver. That's going to be row 3. Vito and the deck is row 4. Tommy and Lorenzo is row 5. And Sofian, Chilmo, Azen, and Alex are the rest of the grid. Again, everybody but 2 drivers wanted the medium tire, and the other 2 went for the hard tire. So
yeah, and they're gonna get free tire choice here, both of them outside the top 10. So we might see them switch to a medium tire regardless.
yeah, and yeah, it's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen such a unanimous decision before. Only 2 out of the 15.
Even last week in tier 3, we still saw a good chunk of drivers qualify on those soft tires. I think it was 4 or 5 of them in the top 10 there. So big change of heart here for these tier 2 boys.
Yeah, that's what watching another league race will do. You get all the information, all the strategy tips. You know what to do and what works best for you. Got about 20 seconds left before the start of the formation lap. Who do you got your eyes on?
I think Young Lights is obviously the one to watch. Reserve driver who's looking to make an impact on this tier next season comes in, sets a pole lap time right away. So we're going to want to keep an eye on him, see what he can do. Make sure it's not a fluke, as well as that McLaren of Gigix in third place. Both of these guys earning themselves a seat for next season. Just trying to test out to make sure that they're in the right tier. But if I had to look outside in terms of regular drivers, I'm definitely looking at Chris. He's the championship leader right now, 4 points ahead of Vito, who's 2 places behind him. So these guys are going to be starting on the grid, seeing each other. We're gonna have to make sure that they're not looking at each other too hard. They don't cost something into turn 1. But Chris is gonna be a man on a mission here. He wants to secure that championship. He can't clinch it today unless he finishes 20 points ahead of Vito. So he would need Vito and Sofian in third place. So basically, he would need both of those guys to DNF as well as a win to clinch a championship in Bahrain. So can he do it? Probably, but we're going to have to keep an eye on him through this race, I think.
Yep, and if I'm going to be honest, it's a 4-horse race for the championship. As you said, Chris Canvito, Sofian, and Cruz. This being the second to last race, I think Cruz, as you said earlier, he needs a win, and for the rest of the top 3 to not score.
Yeah,
in my opinion, to create a showdown for the last
and then
race.
he needs at least 10 points more than them the next week as well or just more points than them next week as well to clinch. He's 21 points back. He was running well last week, and then UK Coxey took him out in a fit of anger. And I won't repeat what I said because I think we're going to start laughing. But so unfortunately for him, kind of took a big dash out of his championship hopes. But yeah, he's still in it. He just has to perform really well for the next 2 races and hope that his competitors don't. You'd always rather be in the position of Chris or Vito, where you kind of control the outcome. As long as you finish ahead of a certain guy, then you're basically guaranteed the championship, provided that your other competitors don't pull out a victory. But the race is starting soon. We have to keep an eye on a lot of drivers here today.
Yep, and here we go. We've got the 5 lights. Will they be the real 5 lights? We never know, and they will not.
No,
be,
it never is.
Course. So we're gonna wait for the cars to go off. Racing Point and Renault on the front row, and they are off now. Looks like a little bit of a tentative start from Scar Logan. Young Lights moves over to cut him off. They're spreading out now going into turn 1. Look at the Williams, just as you said.
Chris Can getting some damage here.
Yeah, bold move from Chris Can. Don't know if it's paid off because I saw a lot of carbon fiber go off.
He's definitely missing an end plate.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. You've got a yellow flag. Toro Rosso has been spun. That's Azen at the back of the pack. He's going to carry on now going into turn 3. It is still Young Lights ahead of Scar Logan, but the gap is really, really close. Going back to Chris Can. And Gigix Chris Can has made up 2 positions, but he has damage. So how long is he going to be able to withstand that? And how will that play into his tire strategy? Because corners like this are really going to hurt him. Luckily for him, does a good job of managing it.
Ooh, big moment in the back there.
There was a Mercedes.
3 cars
Tommy,
involved.
There's a Ferrari.
Vito's involved. So he's sent all the way to the back.
One of the championship contenders.
No damage on that Ferrari, thankfully. I think he just kind of got the tail end of that accident, got spun, impact on the rear. That looked like it happened between Catastrophic and Tommy going side by side through that corner, and it's a tricky corner to take alone. So with another car next to you, I think they probably just tapped wheels and collected the people in front of us. Unfortunately, that was Vito, so Chris Can probably breathing a big sigh of relief right now.
Someone else is big. And there goes Chris Can. Into the pits, lap 1. So, and that's gonna. I was just about to mention someone who's also breathing a huge sigh of relief is Sofian. Started outside of the top 10 on hard tires. He's already up to 5th in 1 lap.
Yeah. Yeah, Sophia on a very good run so far. Cruz also seemingly benefiting from that as Chris puts on the hard tires in the pit. So Cruz and Sophia right now, they're both going to not overtake him, not for Cruz. Sophia should overtake Chris can if the standings do not change. But as mentioned, unless Chris Can is the one who wins and everyone else, the NFs here, nobody can clinch the championship here today.
Yeah, and Scar Logan is the first driver in the standings who has officially been ruled, I guess, impossible. He's out of the championship fight, and we've got, look at that, I think that's Lorenzo. Yeah, he's got damage. He's been spun, so an accident there. And look at this, Chris Can and Alex having a good battle of it coming out of the pits.
Yeah, absolutely. Scar Logan hunting down Young Lights right now. That Renault has been serving him well lately, don't you think?
Yeah, most definitely. We see him in the hunt, it seems like every single race, and almost, at some points a whole lap ahead of the rest of the field. So I think
pure pace on that one.
Yeah,
pure pace.
I'd say it's really working for him. But getting back to the championship, actually, there is still one driver that we are forgetting to mention who can still mathematically win the championship, and that is Tommy. But it's going to take an astronomical amount of luck. He has to win both races and have Chris Can, Vito, Sophian, and Cruz all not score.
Yeah. Basically, he needs to get all 50 points, and hope that Chris, Vito, Sophian, and Cruz don't get more than like 10 each total.
So it is possible.
Absolutely astronomical.
Yeah. The chances are 1 in 1,000, I'd say, for Tommy. But again, never over till it's over. This is F1. Crazy things always happen.
Absolutely. So Renzo in the pits here. He's going to drop the last.
Look at this. Scarlo goes a little bit wide. I think that maybe turn 7, if my memory serves me correct.
No, that's turn 9, I believe.
Turn 9.
Turn 9 or 10 there.
DRS now enabled. He's going to use that to his advantage. But as I was saying, yeah, Chris can't, made a big move, a bold move off the start going into turn 1, but, paid the price of nearly 14 cars trying to jam into one corner, all separated by about a couple of feet. Got some wing damage, headed into the pits, came out in 11th, which, all things considered, it is 11th, it's outside of the points, but he could be in 13th battling with 2 other drivers and completely losing ground to the rest of the pack. Cruz, fastest lap of the race. Here comes Scar Logan. DRS is open. He's going to go down the inside. Young Lights, though, he's going to protect that lead. Goes pretty deep, I would say, but a good job of correcting it. Second DRS straight now for Scarlo.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of opportunistic attempts there from Scarlo. I'm pretty sure that was him trying to overtake around the outside there when he went wide. Last lap, he's pushing very hard. He's sitting very close to that racing point. So expect to see a move when Young Lights does not expect to see one.
Yeah.
I think he's just going to try to stick it down the inside and hope for the best at one point.
Well, Logan got a good exit off of there. He's going to look to make a little sneaky little move down into turn 9. Not right now. He will get the DRS off of Young Lights. So we're gonna.
That's Gigix now, who's taking advantage of these two guys battling. He's caught right up to the back of that Renault. He's gonna wanna probably stay back here to not cause a 3-car collision, but he can definitely pick up some very sweet pieces if something happens ahead.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And looks like Vito and Catastrophic having a good scrap at it. We're going to stick here. The top 4 all separated by, it looks like about a couple seconds, or maybe even a second and a half. I think this is where Scar Logan might have a really good opportunity here to pass Young Lights, but give the Racing Point driver credit. He's got good straight line speed. He's going to go down to the inside to defend. Look out for the McLaren of Gigix as well. What's Scar Logan going to do? Try and just switch back, not try and hit the back bumper, lose any wing. But Young Lights.
No damage on that Renault.
Yeah, but he gets a great exit now, plus DRS. Here we go, side by side, going into turn 3. The McLaren's just going to sit back and watch. Will Scar Logan be able to do it? No, not right now, but he gets another good exit, and it looks like he has gotten past. He's still there. No, he has cleared the Racing Point. Scar Logan takes the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. But now is
Great
Young Light's going to
battle
be,
there.
yeah, no
Great
kidding,
battle.
under pressure from the McLaren driver and as well as Cruz. Got to keep it here. Look at this battle. 4 cars. This is great, and it looks like we have Tommy in the pits. So as I was saying, his chances of winning the championship are astronomical. Uh, it's well, and
He's
there it goes.
retired, so
That
they're
he is
null
out
at
of the
this point.
championship.
Ooh,
That,
big
oh
big
wow, look at
moments
that.
from
Yeah,
Young Lights on the back straight.
yeah. I just got a look at that at the last second. Not sure what happened. He was swerving side to side. Um, what
I
happened?
think he tried to bait a
Yeah.
move on Scar Logan and then kind of got caught out by his own car there. But these kind of drives, it's something that we're seeing from Scar Logan more and more throughout the season. At the start, you could tell a lot of times he was a little bit nervous in his driving, and he makes some mistakes in situations like that where he's not only fighting for the lead, but he's got pressure from 2 drivers behind him. So if he makes any mistakes, he's almost guaranteed to lose 2 spots. And we're seeing him just kind of stay cool through the pressure. As they look at that, they're battling again
Look at that.
and
Young
put
Lights
that
going for
car
the
in the
switchback.
right spot to get ahead of his opponents, getting very, very good under pressure this season.
Yep, without a doubt. Racing Point driver Young Lights trying to retake the lead,
Oh,
though.
they're so close. They're
That was
so close.
extremely close, and you don't want to be side by side here through these corners. Who's going to give up first? None of them are going to give up. Young Lights is going to stick it with them, but look at that. What a move. Scar Logan keeps the nose down, but there goes Young Lights again on the inside. He's going to get the move done. No, they're still side by side. Scar Logan finally clears him. I mean, these guys are going after it right now. Look out for the McLaren's. Got to brake. Jijix slam on the brakes. Same thing with Cruz. Now 3 cars getting DRS. Scar Logan
Look at
went
that
off
defending
the
from
track
Scar Logan.
to try and break the slipstream. But here comes the Racing Point driver of Young Lights again down the inside. And I think he's going to squeeze Scar Logan off the track. He's going to lose 2 places because of it. Maybe not.
Oh, there's a little bit of contact there.
Yep, got to be careful here. Don't know
what
how.
a save!
They haven't crashed yet. This is incredible.
What a save by Young Lights there.
Yeah, what a good job by Scar Logan not to re-enter the track dangerously, especially through that awkward right-hander. But now here comes
Cruz,
Sophion out of nowhere. He's only a second behind us back on the hard tire.
Cruz making a move on Gigex as well to get 3rd place. That might switch back by the end of this straight, though. They're side by side, following each other NASCAR style down here. This is absolutely insane.
And there he goes. But again, Young Lights is going to get that inside. Oh, there's contact. Young Lights goes across the grass. Be sure not to rejoin too dangerously. He does. I can't quite see. Looks like Cruz is maybe overtaking him. Jijix is looking to overtake him as well. Cruz down the inside of turn 3. And this is where Scar Logan wants to jet off into the distance. As now Young Lights loses 2 positions out of the lead. And wow. And now Sophion is joined in on the battle. We now have a 5-car battle for the lead, and the deck is not even that far behind if the battling keeps up like it is.
No, these guys are acting as their own roadblock, but it doesn't matter too much. There's no one ahead of them. Yeah, they got to be careful here not to slow each other down too much, or else we're going to see guys like Sophion and the deck catch up to them, and that could really, really come play a bad hand in this battle that these guys are having. I'm honestly shocked we have not seen an incident. That was 3 laps of some of the closest racing I've ever seen. Big moment in a turn that's notorious for catching people out too from Young Lights, but saving it. So it's just some absolutely skilled driving here from this top 4, even top 5 here, as Sophion's catching up on that harder compound.
And look at this. I think top 5 separated by, what is this, about 2 seconds. That's great. And look how the snake is going to form now. Wherever the leader goes, the rest of the pack will go to get that slipstream. A little bit more separated, I'd say a little bit compared to the couple other laps. No one is making an attempt into turn 1.
Yeah, I think everyone using as much a battery and fuel as they could manage there in the last couple laps. Everyone just taking a step back, trying to cool down the engine, cool down the tires, as to not completely ruin their chances later on in the race.
Well, Cruz, he may be ignoring what you're saying. He's going for the lead of the race. He's caught right back up to Scar Logan. As I was saying, he might want to get on with it while the rest of these 4 cars battle. No, Cruz is saying,
As
no, I
of
want the
right
lead.
now, live standings, if Cruz takes the lead, he is, I think, going to be in second place in the championship, possibly first, depending on how many points Vito can bring in. Yeah, so Cruz, he needs that win right now. He needs to get ahead of Scar Logan, and then he needs to stay there. And if he can manage to do that, if the standings don't change too much between now and the end of the race, he might have just revitalized his championship hopes. That's absolutely great driving from the Alfa Romeo driver today. Definitely trying his best. It's never over until it's over, and he's living the best of that.
Yep, down the front straight now. Got to get a better camera angle than this. It looks like Sophion and Jijix are pretty close. I think Cruz as well. Now they're all separated by about the exact same margins.
Yep. And so Fionn has to be patient here. He's on the harder tires. There's no reason for him to push and attack. These guys are doing a good enough job, destroying their tires by themselves. He's on the better strategy right now. He's going to have the faster tire by the end of the race, and he just has to sit back, watch, wait, make sure that he's ready to, take advantage of any incident. But there's no reason for him to get involved in this fight just yet.
Yeah, he knows he's got the better strategy. Look at how close Cruz is going into turn 9 for the DRS straight. And we're going to see, again, the Renault driver try and weave around to break the slipstream. And yeah, there he goes. He's going to follow him. Not enough to make a move down into turn 10.
Oh, Sophion's going for it, though.
Yep. Sophion and Jijix got to get the battle over there. And, wow, look at that. Sophion has got it done. Jijix looking on the inside. Don't really want to get there. And there we go.
Oh, another
great
save.
How?
Another great save here.
How did he save?
These
I
guys...
was for sure he was around.
Oof. First Young Lights, next Jijix. This curve, that turn is known for catching drivers out like that. As soon as that rear end steps out, it's almost impossible to get it back. We've seen two guys get it done, get that save under race conditions. Absolutely incredible from these two. Now Jijix is going to pit there. Probably starting to get to the end. Yeah, starting to get to the end of those medium tires.
Cruz and Scar Logan. Cruz, I think, may have saved it. I think he just tapped the back end of Scar Logan, but he had to slam on the brakes, and now that's going to cause Young Lights to make a move into turn 3 down the inside. Look at how close they are. Maybe a little bit of contact, couldn't quite see. But again, one of them's going to have to give. Young Lights is going to let Cruz hold on to the second place for now. And it has turned into a more of a 4-car battle as yeah, that's right. Jijix went into the pits. The deck not really catching this group of drivers.
Maybe starting to fall a little bit further back there on those medium tires. They're getting to the end of their lifespan. We've seen guys pit to get off of them already. Wouldn't hope too hard here for the deck to come play a hand in this podium fight.
Yeah, I think Cruz had a little bit of a mistake there through that corner. Envious of, as you said, catching people out. Had a bit of a wobble. Again, was able to save it. But that caused Young Lights to close the gap. Crucially now for this long DRS front straight. I'd say if he doesn't get the move done by turn 1, as now, well, look at this. Oh, he faked him out. Young Lights is going to stay for another lap. He's going to try the overcut, as well as Sophion, obviously on the harder tire. But Scar Logan and Cruz into the pits. Young Lights kind of faked everybody out as if he was going to, but no, he stays out.
We're going to have to wait and see where Gigix is coming out. He's rounding the final corner right now. It's going to be very close there. He was the first one to try that undercut, and then Young Lights trying to overcut on all 3 of them.
That's not going to
he's
work out.
Coming across the start-finish line here. I think he should get Cruz here, but Scar Logan getting ahead.
No, he's not. Cruz is going to keep that position for now. He's going to have the fresher tires by about a lap. So I think the undercut has not worked.
They're not warm yet. Oh, yeah, big battle there between Vito and Chris Can in the background.
Yeah, quickly switch over to that.
Yeah, both of them. These guys are. This is for the championship here. These guys are 4 points apart from each other.
As Alfa Lorenzo's out in that corner. He's crashed. We got a virtual safety car.
Yeah. Speaking of taking people out, we see it in prime time there. That's going to play a big pause on the Vito Chriscan fight. These guys were 4 points apart going into this race.
Oh, and
They're
look at that. He's
battling for the
right.
last point right now.
Yeah.
And it's it seems like they're battling for 10th, but with people still to pit ahead of them, like Sophion, and I believe the deck has pit. So yeah, this could still play a big hand in the championship. You want any point you can get, especially when the gap is that close, and so these guys are really going for it there.
Ooh,
But that
Sophion.
VSC not helping anyone. Young Lights though is going to get probably the best of it. He's in the pits right now.
As it goes green for now, we're gonna wait. We're gonna keep an eye on Scar Logan now. Where is he gonna come out? I think Young Lights may just take the lead of this race. I think it's gonna be close.
Scar Logan's coming across the start-finish line now.
DRS2 to help him out. This is gonna be very, very close. Young Lights looks like he's gonna take that position away, but here he's gonna have to battle, get past that car, and yep, this virtual safety car definitely played a huge hand in helping Young Lights retake that position away. But Sophion stayed out. Wanted to get your opinion on it. Do you think he should have pitted for the medium tires under the VSC?
No, it's way too early for that. We're seeing people pit off the mediums here, 10 laps, 11 laps into the race. Some guys on lap 12, so that should give us an idea of how long they last. I probably wouldn't think they're competitive beyond probably 13 or 14 laps. So Sophion here still has probably a couple of good laps in those hard tires, and he's not looking to pit probably until lap 14 or 15 there, and that should even later, to be honest. There's no reason to get off those hard tires yet. They still got a ton of pace in them.
That is absolutely correct. As we jump to Young Lights sets fastest middle sector.
Yeah, Young Lights here pulling a little bit away from Scar Logan as he getting that heat into the tires. I think Scar Logan has what it takes to catch up to him, but and we're looking at Cruz here, 1.5 seconds back. I think he got caught up behind Azen, but this pack that we had right before this round of pit stops having spread out a little bit as these guys picking different strategies and different laps to pit on. And it looks like Gigix and Cruz are the only two really, really close right now. Actually, Scar Logan catching up to Young Lights here.
Oh, he thought about... Oh, and there's contact!
Big contact there from Scar Logan.
He was indecisive about what he wanted to do. He thought about it originally, then gave up, but it was too late. Had to slam on the brakes, ended up hitting the back of the Racing Point. Loses
some big wing damage.
Yep.
Big wing damage there from Scar Logan. That should effectively take him out of the running for the win here, as he's going to lose a lot of time, or he's going to have to pit again. And right after a round of pit stops, that's not when you want to dive back into the pits. That essentially tacks on another 25 seconds to your race time. So unless there's a safety car here soon, that should be it for Scar Logan.
Yeah, he needs a safety car, or if he thinks that he can hang on with that end plate missing, well, he goes very wide, gets a penalty for good measure. It's just an end plate though. I don't see any other damage. It may be a yellow colored left side of the wing.
Gonna have to wait and see what he thinks here. He's coming around the pit stop, might make more than a lap on it, as Young Lights trying to bait him into going there or something. Shilmo picks up a penalty for speeding. But it looks like he's going to stick it out here. Probably just going to test it, see how much time he's losing. But I think he's... maybe it's not going to affect him too much. You want to be careful, not rack up the penalties, though.
Yeah, but I've been watching the gap between him and Cruz. It's gone from 3.5 seconds to about 2.7 since he lost that end plate.
And speaking of gaps between Young Lights and Sophion has not changed at all since the start of this round of pit stops, right? So they're still about 20 to 21 seconds apart. That shows that Sofyan definitely still has pace in his tires, as he's almost lapping identical lap times to the fresh hard tires of Younglight. So probably not going to see Sofyan pit for another couple of laps here, as he definitely has life in those tires.
Yep, and he's making a good case for him being right in the thick of it come next week for the Drivers' Championship. Right now, obviously, still has to pit, but right now he would be taking the lead.
He would definitely be taking the lead here. If he scores,
it'd be
he's 9 points back, I believe.
It'd be 150 for Sofyan, 148 for Chris Can, 146 for Vito. If the race were to end right now, which it obviously isn't, we are halfway through the race. Sofyan still has to pit, and I think he's the only one who still has to pit.
Everyone else has pit, yeah.
Yeah, and correct me, my memory is faulting me. What is the average pit stop time here?
I believe it's around 25 seconds. It's a standard pit lane here. You know, there's no loopy bends that cut corners. There's no awkward entrance that happens before or after a certain corner. So it's very much just slip in and drive out along the front straight. So it's about the average 24 to 25 seconds.
So he's going to be looking to come out ahead of Cruz, I'd say. I think he was behind. He was definitely behind Cruz before the round of pit stops.
Yeah, it may be even shorter than that. It all depends on whether or not you get held up, and how quickly your pit crew can get your wheels off. But we're looking at Younglight's probably coming out just ahead of Sofyan here, based on this gap.
Yeah, and Sofyan's going to, again, stay out. Is he... I hate to even bring this up, but is he possibly even thinking about the unheard of here, going from hard to soft for the end of the race? Is he thinking about going until lap 20, 21, and then slapping on the softs?
I would have to say no.
Yeah.
He doesn't strike me as the driver to... Scott Logan's going to pit here, having enough of that wing. But yeah, he doesn't strike me as the driver to gamble on strategies like that. He doesn't have to gamble on anything right now. He's in the lead. He's on the preferred strategy, finishing with the softer tires at the end of this race. And... there's no point in him.
There actually is no point in doing that.
Yeah, there's no point in him taking that gamble and hoping, because if he just puts on the medium tires, he's still gonna finish at the front, and there's no point in risking a flat, especially when the championship is this close. If he was maybe in 7th or 8th like Chris is, and trying to gamble his way to the front, then I would absolutely agree that he should go for it. But he doesn't have any reason to gamble on that just yet.
We have a 3-way tied for the lead in the championship. Actually,
Vito
no, we
takes
don't.
4th place.
We don't. Vito in the live standings. That is plus 12. He has 152. Sofyan and Chris Can both have 150 due to Vito gaining one
Vito
position.
provisionally in first here then.
Yeah, and we had a 3-way tie for the lead before Vito got 4th place from Jijix, and now Sofyan will pit. The Red Bull will pit. He will give the lead to Younglights, but where will he come out? That's a fast pit stop. Wow.
Very, very fast pit stop here. Younglights is just coming around the final corner.
Wow, hold on, wait a minute. Is he going to get second?
Well, with Scar Logan pitting, I think he was the only other one in that danger zone here.
But
Cruz, he's going to be coming out in second there. Cruz nowhere near close to him.
He comes out extremely close to Younglights, and I think he's got 12 laps on fresh, spanking new mediums. Younglights has got to, he's got to be aware of that.
He's got to be cheering for Cruz here.
Yeah.
He's got to be cheering for Cruz here to come in and mess Sofyan's strategy, fight with him a little bit and
championship
and
leader
whatnot.
Chris Can gets past Jijix for 6th place. That's 8 points to his name.
Yeah, Jijix started off very strong here. He's been dropping back.
Yeah. He, though, regains his lead in the live championship, actually now tied with Vito
And this is how close it is, right?
Yeah,
These
this
guys,
is
they
great.
make a pass from 7th to 6th, right? Positions that normally go, all right, well, that's like 2 extra points, right? Big deal. But that means 3rd to 1st in the championship here in the live standings for Chris. I'm pretty sure if he ties with Sofiane would have the tiebreaker with more race wins. So yeah, like he's taking that 6th place away from Gigix, but he's getting himself in the front of the championship, at least, you know, temporarily. So it's so close here. And how is Cruz shaping up in all this? He's still in 3rd there.
Cruz live standings would have 139 points, which would still be in 4th place. Tommy being out of the race, ending his championship hopes. Cruz sets fastest lap. Tommy would stay at 100, yeah. Cruz at 139, Sofiane at 153. So actually, no, Sofiane, has a 1-point lead over Chris Can and Vito in the live championship standings.
I think that's Gigix making a move on Chris here. Basically, Cruz just he has to finish strong here. Then he has to hope that he somehow wins next weekend's Silverstone Grand Prix. Because he has definitely the slimmest championship hopes out of our top 4 here.
Sofiane already under a second to Young Lights. This is the worst possible scenario for Young Lights. After getting help with the VSC under the pit lane, Sofiane has played the overcut or the harder compound tire strategy to perfection. It's now under 6/10, 5/10 within. What has it been? 2 laps.
Yeah, we're definitely looking at as I mentioned earlier. He's on the better strategy. It's paying off now, and it's a good show as to why there's no reason to get involved earlier, because he pits and now he's basically gifted a shot at the lead, whereas earlier would have had to go through about 5 guys just to get there. So he's definitely still going to play it easy. He has 11 laps to make his move, so no need to rush it for Sofiane, but he's going to go for it right away.
And he's going to make the pass. Now, can Young Lights come back at him down the inside? Whoa!
Very close.
Wow, my heart was in my stomach for that one. I was just envisioning the Red Bull spinning around, but
Chris is pitting again.
Oh, whoa! I was just about to mention, I saw how close he was to that 3-car battle into turn 1. He's pitting.
Yeah, he's pitting again. No front wing change. He's putting on the medium tires. He put those hard tires on very early in the race. He did pit, I think, on lap 2 or 3, because he did get some wing damage going into turn 1. So I think this is part of his new strategy here, his normal one.
Yeah, but that's disaster for Chris Can. Now, no points. I think sitting in 3rd in the live standings. But yeah, Sofiane is the leader, gets past Young Lights, and he should be set sail for the end of the race, unless of course there's a safety car or Young Lights is able to stay within DRS range.
No DRS on that straight, so Young Lights can't quite catch up, but he's going to get it here. So we're going to see just how much these guys have it in them in this straight, but I don't think that's enough to make a move here. I think Young Lights is going to be looking to hold on and hop on a mistake or something, even with the older, slightly more worn-in tire that should have some prime laps still in it. I don't think he's going to have what it takes to catch up to Sofiane here.
Yep, and as Gigix on 10-lap old medium tires, he pits. This is going to help out Chris Can. He's actually going to put on the soft tire. Chris Can's going to... he was in a battle with Gigix, and here comes the rest of the pack. Where is Chris Can? He is just now starting the start-finish line.
Yeah, so Chris Can should get past that McLaren here. It's going to be very close, much closer than I expected.
Whoa, look at this. Is he going to go around the outside of turn 1? He's going to get the inside for the next corner. Is he going to get it done? A little bit of contact, squeezing the McLaren off the track. Who's going to get DRS? It's Chris Can. And this is important because this is the championship leader trying to get back into the points. But look at that, the McLaren edging his nose forward at the apex. Don't want to go side by side here yet, and the McLaren gives up for now. So that is the points leader back into the points with 1 point to his name. Really is going to look to want to get back up there with the fresher tires. Maybe get 8th or somewhere around there. But Jijix, though, has the faster tire compound.
And, yeah, he's not gonna have it for very long there. His tires should wear out way before Chris's tires do. But he's gonna be the faster car there for the next at least lap or two if he doesn't make any mistakes like going wide there. That's gonna cost him quite a bit of time. Yeah, Chris is gonna have to play very defensive here in these final couple of laps. No other battle on track.
Yeah, I was about to say Young Lights has fallen back from Sophie and he's out of DRS range for now. I'm trying to calculate together live standings. Sophion Art obviously is the live points leader. He has 160 points to his name. Think who's up next? Cruz with 18 points, 141. Vito with 12 to 152. So it is Sophion, Vito, Chris Can, and Cruz is the top 4 in the live standings. Sophion, Vito, Chris Can, and Cruz.
So Cruz must be closing that gap to Chris quite a bit after this race. If my head math is right, they should be only about 3 to 4 points apart.
It'd be 145 to 138. So it'd be a 7-point differential going into the final race. Looking at Cruz, about 5 seconds behind Young Lights.
Cruz has the fastest lap right now.
He does.
Yeah, so that's basically negates that point Chris Can has right now.
Well, Chris Can now gets another point. He moves up into 9th place. He passes Azen. That's 2 points now for the championship leader's name as they battle behind him. We're going to keep it here.
Yeah, so Fion actually has the fastest lap. Must have stole it recently. I thought Cruz still had it.
Oh, look at the McLaren going down the inside of the championship leader. Is there contact? No. A little bit of connection issues for Jijix, and I think that may have actually saved Chris Can because it looked like he was going straight in to the Williams. But Jijix is going to go at it. He's going to go deep into the corner. He's going to go very, very wide. Chris Can's going to get the switchback, but Jijix is not done. Who's going to give up? They're going to go side by side into that corner. Oh, it's a bad camera angle. It looks like there was contact.
Little bit of side pod to wheel there.
Another switchback move from Jijix. He's going to retake it. Are they still going to be side by side? No. Jijix, wow. But there goes Chris
is going for it.
But he's going to go wide. Another switchback with that rumble strip is going to hurt Chris Can. And he's going to lose out to Azen as well. Wow.
Chris is not giving up. He wants every point he can get. Just trying to send it there as soon as he saw a gap, and he's gonna get the short end of that stick in the end. But definitely a worthwhile effort there. These guys probably switched positions 4 or 5 times through the span of 4 or 5 corners. And how many switchbacks did we see in the same span too? So great battle from these two drivers here. Chris Can has to be careful though, because one mistake and even his 1 or 2 points that could end up saving him in the end are going to evaporate. He wants to just bring it home with as many points as he can and not gamble on an extra point or two, especially this far down the standings. But in 10th you get 1 point, but 9th you get 2. So for him it's a double or nothing right now, as if he crashes out he essentially loses everything. So got to be careful.
Look at
in
Jijix
these
catching up to
Jijix,
what happened to Chris Can? Wait, it looked
not sure. Nothing on my screen.
Oh God, okay. Looked like a bit of a glitch there. Chris Can was way off the screen, or right next to the McLaren.
No, he's actually caught up quite a bit to these two.
Yeah, look at the Chilmo struggling, or compared to these Two behind him on the much fresher tires and the faster tires. Look at already Jijix is going to make a move around
Ooh.
Chilmo. But no, I didn't see what happened. What happened there?
Chris trying to go to the outside there, and or sorry, not Chris, but Jijik trying to go to the outside there,
Uh-oh.
and kind of getting surprised by Mo's speed, and just had to go off track to
Look at
avoid
this.
contact. Almost lost into the wall.
Look at this battle. Another switchback. Jijix is going to get it done again. Oh, they're going to be side by side. Who's going to get DRS for the main
wheel
straight?
to wheel here?
It looks like
I
Jijix.
think Gigix slowed down. Yeah, I think he baited him, slowed down right before the detection point. And I think they're both gonna get it regardless because of Chilmo.
That's
But
right. That
yeah,
may save Chris can for now for this straightaway. But Chilmo is, I mean, he's got three car. Oh, whoa!
And Chris going for it on Chilmo.
Did he just make that move down? He did. Wow. And that's huge for Chris Can because he's got to keep a car between him and the McLaren. Well, that didn't last long because
it won't be there for long. Yes, Chilmo immediately falls to Gigix.
And that is not what Chris Can wanted, a gap between him and his nearest competitor. And as wait a minute, oh my gosh, okay, that is Alex into the pits, not Sofiane. Nearly had a heart attack for a second, but yeah, Chris Can up to 8. That's 4 points. That's 148 for the season. And now Jijix is going to get some DRS. We've only got 4 laps left. Sofiane looks like he is good to go. Should not have just said that, but I did. We're going to go with it. Chris Can able to keep 8th for now. But, I mean, my goodness. Chris Can and Jijix, I think, have given us the battle of a lifetime here. I think it was, 3 straight laps of just constant
I think you're forgetting our battle that we had at the start of this race.
Oh, that is right, too. Well, this race has just been filled with overtakes and great battles side by side through corners you don't want to go side by side through. But now Jijix is going to get a prime opportunity to pass Chris Can, and there he goes. Oh, he's going to. Oh no! I think he tried to do the exact same thing that can't remember who it was before. He tried to bait him into going one way, then switch to the other way, but he ran into the back of the Williams, lost some front wing.
That's not good for the McLaren. Hopefully he's not going to get slowed down too much by that.
But yeah, I think that's what being a little bit too fancy will do to you. But now, 4 laps left. Sofiane has lapped his teammate. Ironically, another Red Bull. Or ironically, for the Red Bull team, lapping their teammate. Saw that once or twice in real life.
We have seen that in 2019,
in real life. So yeah, 3 laps to go now. 4 laps to go actually. Young Lacey hasn't really fallen too far back. The gap has been getting larger, but not by what you may expect. It's been hovering around 1.7, 1.6. But
yeah, Young Light's definitely hanging in there.
Yeah,
so props to him for that.
He's just waiting back, hoping for a mistake. But for Sofiane, it'd be very hard to see that happening.
Yeah, that gap, I've been eyeballing it for the last couple laps, has not changed. So either Sofiane's tires are starting to fall a little bit there, and those hard tires are catching up in terms of pace, or he's just really trying to save as best he can not to run into any trouble at the end of the race. He did put those tires on around lap 18, I believe. So yeah, 9-lap old tires. So no, he put it on around lap 17. And they should be getting old by now. He only has roughly 3 laps to go in this race.
The gap is shrinking.
So it might just be trying to hold on.
The gap is starting to shrink. It's 1.6 now. Now it's starting to go back up again.
Yeah,
maybe
back
a little
up to 1.7. Yeah, it looks like Young Lights is definitely catching up a lot in these slow sections of the track, but he then is losing it. Yeah.
Down to 1.5, closest I've seen it in quite a while. 1.53. He's getting a smidget of the slipstream. Now down to 1.4, 1.2. I don't know. I've never seen it get this close for the past couple of laps.
No, absolutely not. He's definitely catching up now, getting some new life in those hard tires, or the Sophion just gravely miscalculated how long those mediums can do him for. And yeah, it looks like Young Light's starting to close up that gap there, but he's gonna run out of time before he runs out of tires, so he has to put that move on very soon.
And correction, uh, Alex has not been lapped by his teammate. He's actually just ahead of his teammate. So
No,
sorry
but
about.
it's he might end up playing a role in this race
Yeah, is he gonna
nonetheless. He's the
give his teammate
getting
some
a little
DRS?
bit yeah. He's getting a little bit further and further away from the rest of the pack, and a little bit closer and closer to getting lapped there.
So now, if you're Young Lights, you want to see that gap be around a second right now, because we're coming to 2 laps to go, and I don't know. If I were Sophie, and I would have wanted Alex to stay in front of me for this straightaway, but no, he's gonna give actually DRS to Alex. Um,
Yeah, and that's going to end up helping Young Lights a little bit more than Sophion was hoping for, as he gets a much better, much better split stream a lot closer to him. So
Young Legs didn't get the DRS off of Alex, but the slipstream, the double slipstream, definitely helped.
he will get it now, though. He does get it
Yeah, he
now.
has it now. 2 laps to go. The gap is at its lowest that I've seen it. It is 1.25 seconds, but through this couple of S's, I think is when Young Lights loses a little bit of time. But no, actually, he's gained it right back. So he's gonna have to get within a second here uh, for the front straightaway to get that DRS to help him, or is he's gonna get DRS from Alex. I think I know Young
Yeah,
Leg's plan. Gonna get this DRS from Alex. Hope and pray that he's within a second of the other Red Bull for the main straightaway. But no, that gap has not gone down enough for Young Lights. He's having trouble
yeah,
getting
Young
past
Lights
the
is
Red Bull.
saving ERS here. I have seen that red light
Whoa!
blink. Big moment there.
Alex getting in the way visually of Young Lights. He had a little bit of a slip there. That's gonna really, really hurt. But actually, but wait a second. Slip is down to 1.1 seconds. Is he gonna get
Yeah,
DRS?
I did see
No.
him pick up a penalty though, so we're gonna have to look if that affects any of them. Take a look at Race Director here, see if any of these drivers have another penalty that could play into the race results.
He's gonna get 2 more
And
DRS opportunities. He's under a second now. He's gonna get this DRS coming down the second straightaway. If he could keep it within 1 second, which he does, he gets DRS for this straightaway. He's gonna have 1 more DRS straightaway. I don't see him catching it or catching Sofiane. He's gonna have
yeah,
1 more
no
opportunity.
no penalties here from Sophia on this race. So that was the only penalty either of these drivers have gotten
Wow, that's
so far today. But with Alex just kind of playing a hand in that, we're gonna have to wait and see if that stands, because if it only happened because his vision was obstructed, obviously the penalty won't be upheld. So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens there. Wait and see for a replay.
Yep, DRS wide open for the Racing Point. Gap is 8 tenths. We're going to see how close it is at the end of the straightaway. Not getting a considerably amount smaller, about 7 tenths now, and it's growing back up again. So I think this race is Sofiane's, though. But look at how close they're actually getting now. The slipstream is going to help him out a little bit. It's 7 tenths, and it's growing again. Got to get this corner right for
Yeah,
Sofiane, and he's got it in the bag, and which he does. Sofiane is going to take the lead of the championship going into the final round. He takes the win. Young Lights gets second. Cruz is going to get third. Vito fourth. We're going to have to wait on penalties, though.
yeah, Chris getting his car up into seventh,
Sick
so
into
some
seventh.
very valuable points there. Good recovery drive
Yep.
from the Williams driver.
And that is actually a huge seventh place. That's 6 points to his name, puts him at 150. Just 10 points behind Sofiane. Sofiane made a huge statement for the Drivers' Championship in this race. He sits at 160, to Chris Can's 150. Vito will be at 152. This is gonna we have set the stage for a great season finale here in Tier 2, with the top three only
Absolutely.
separated by 10 points. And Cruz picking
Absolutely.
up 15. That puts him at 138. I I think his chance. I don't think he has I don't think he has a path, actually, because he now sits at 138. Chris Can at 160, or Sofian at 160. It's going to be a
Yeah, so
three-car
I think
battle.
if Cruz, I mean, he's mathematically, I think Cruz still has a chance. But realistically, he's in the same position Tommy was going into this race, where every single element needs to align,
Yep.
and he needs to come away with the win for him to come away with the drivers' championship. But as we've seen before, it's never over until it's over. We're gonna have to wait and see for next week at Silverstone.
And what a place to end our inaugural season of ISRL at. End of
Yeah,
the race now.
classic track,
Yeah.
classic track.
Yep, end of the race now. Sofian is your winner. Young Lights reserve driver gets second. Cruz gets a podium, which I think saved his championship hopes by a thread. He is still mathematically in it. Vito goes up to second in the championship standings with a fourth place. The deck with a solid fifth with no penalties. Scar Logan, a very, very chaotic race for him. He ends up coming in sixth. Catastrophic in seventh, and the points leader coming in, Chris Can, drops down to eighth after penalties. So he loses a position on track. He gets eighth. Jijix in his debut in ninth. So that is going to be it for us. This was the Tier 2 Bahrain Grand Prix, round 14 of 15. My name has been Carter. Thank you for Nick for joining me, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Tier 3 is at 2 p.m. Eastern. Tier 1 is at 4 p.m. Eastern. Once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys later. Wait.